Good evening, friends. Welcome back to my channel, Intraday Trade. My name is Robin, and let's begin a Nifty and Bank Nifty analysis for tomorrow. So tomorrow being an expiry day, the expiry is going to be interesting and with a lot of volatility because it's a monthly expiry also. And today, let's just discuss what happened today. So I think today at the end, post 3 o'clock, Nifty and Bank Nifty both came down heavily. Not a very big crash, but it was a sudden downfall of about 250 points in Bank Nifty. Nifty also is, I already discussed this, that it has resistance around 17 to 300 area, and today we tested 280 once, and then the entire day it was trading below that, and once again it attempted 250 and immediately it came down to 200. So we'll discuss what should be the plan for tomorrow, and before we jump into the discussion, let me just show you what's happening on the daily chart. So if you look at the daily chart, you can just put it on as a line chart and see what's happening. Yeah, so this was a W pattern that we were forming in Nifty, so a double bottom. So we came down here, this was the area, and we gave a breakout. So this was our neckline. I already told you that this breakout is with a gap up, so I'm usually not convinced with such kind of breakout. You may find a lot of traders on YouTube who say that, okay, this is a double bottom and Nifty is turning bullish and things like that, but a breakout is not the real solution for forming any pattern. Okay, so this red candle's high is going to be very crucial area. So let's see what was the high so that we can keep that in mind. 17,155. Okay, just keep in mind 17,155. So if Nifty comes below this, then this could be a failure of the double bottom. So what happens is, this is your neckline. Okay, so already it has crossed the neckline, and if it comes back in, then the fall is usually sharp. Okay, and also we discussed that 17,250 to 80 is a supply zone, so then this fall can continue towards the lower side. Once it crosses 155, then it would be a failure and we can come down heavily. So this is what I wanted to show you all. And another thing is, Bank Nifty is okay because it did not fool around with people by crossing the neckline, which is at 35,450, 470 area. So once it crosses it, is then it could be a double bottom kind of a pattern, but right now it's still looking weak. And before we go to the discussion, I also wanted to show you the stock which we analyzed a couple of days before. I think it was during the weekend. So this is that particular stock, which is okay, so this was Innovative Tech Pack Limited. We analyzed and we saw that it was forming a cup and handle pattern, and I'm just changing it to this. Okay, I'm just doing a black screen so that this pattern is visible. And yes, so it has already given a breakout. Okay, and look at the kind of momentum it is doing. It gave a breakout, it immediately went up to 25 rupees 40 paise today, and it's coming down, just a small profit booking, and we already retested this after the breakout. So if you look at the weekly chart, I think the weekly chart would look better because we did the analysis on the weekly chart. So see, it has already given a breakout. So let's see how this week the candle closes. that will give us a strong confirmation. But the only thing is we analyzed it on the right time and it has already given a breakout immediately after an analysis. And look at the volume also, the volume is also pretty decent. So this is what I wanted to show you all. Let's now jump into our analysis. Back to Bank Nifty and Nifty. Okay, cool. So first we'll check the participant wise OI data, which will give us a clear picture of what is the data talking about today. Sorry, second. Yeah, so we have this. Okay, so if you look at the FI's position, they have future short. So if you remember, for the past 2-3 days they had long position in future, so now they have sold future. Let's see what they have done. So they have future long, but the shorts created are more today. Okay, cool. Then we have long in call options. Let's see what's that. So 75,000 long calls today and 64,000 shorts. So shorts are lesser with respect to call options, but they have decent long options. And if you look at put, so put long is more, it is around 40,000. So that means they're expecting either a gap down or downside moment with some momentum. So let's look at the put, 23,000 long, and they have closed short positions. Okay, so this is not a good sign. This shows that there could be a downside pressure tomorrow. And now let's check ProDesk. They have 900 future long. So what they have done, they have closed their long position and also they have closed the short positions. So we'll just exclude this, and we have about 104,000 call sell. So this is a huge number. That means market is definitely not going to go up. And if you see, 17,300 call option has a huge open interest added today. And also in Bank Nifty we could see 35,000, 200, 300, and those things. Even 35,000 has a long positions with a lot of call open interest added today. And they also have put long. So definitely the data looks bearish as well as volatile, because whenever you see option buying done by this FIIs or pros, you just have to keep in mind that the market is going to be volatile, because buying means you know that the chances of losing is more because of the delta decay and the theta decay that an option premium faces. So what happens is, whenever they have a long position and market is either trading sideways or maybe if it has opened against their position, then they have to pump in more money to take the market towards their side. So this in turn makes the market very volatile. So this is all about the data. Let's quickly check the option chain, what it has to say. So if you look at Bank Nifty option chain, the day trend and the week trend says bearish, because today if we see, call writing is more about 47 lakh and put writing is just about 8 lakhs. And if you see, we can see a lot of exits on the put side. And if you look at the OI chart, so this is something which we have been discussing for the past 3 days. The 35,000 straddle, people are still maintaining it. Okay, so 35,000 straddle is still there. That means they are not expecting a trending expiry today, is something which we all have to understand. Okay, so we're not expecting a trending expiry. We'll see an expiry something like this, but with a lot of volatility, as it's a monthly expiry, so a lot of people would roll over their positions and do a lot of things. But overall, if you check, we have support beyond 35,000, so below 35,000, and above 35,000 we have some strong resistances. Overall, the call writing was significant today. Put writing was there definitely in the first half, but in the last, when FIs started selling in the cash market, the put writers had to exit. So it is clearly visible that the call writing is still there. And similarly, we'll also check Nifty. Okay, let's go to Nifty. So this is a Nifty. So Nifty is also something similar, 17,200. So people are holding short straddle here, and we can see good support below 17,200, and above 17,200 we can see good resistance. Here also the same thing, put writers were aggressive during the morning. I think most of you know this. 17,200 had a lot of put writers, and that's why we are still holding that level. But the FI is selling in the afternoon, made the put writers exit their positions. I can show you that. So if you look at the intraday PCR, this is for Bank Nifty. Just see what happened right at 3 o'clock. So this is 3 p.m. and people already started exiting or reducing their put positions around 1 p.m. here, and the call was stable, and suddenly at 3 o'clock the call increased and the put came down heavily. That means the put writers had to exit their position because they were not confident. And this is the same case with Nifty also. So if you look at Nifty, we already discussed that put writers are also definitely there, so we have support in the market too. But 2 times they had to face some issues, and the call seems to be stable at the same place. Okay, but looking at the PCR data, Nifty looks stronger than Bank Nifty. So now let's come back to our charts and discuss what should be the plan for tomorrow. Okay, so I was expecting Bank Nifty to take support at 34,925, and it did so. So tomorrow it is going to be simple. So in case we open flat, okay, so first we'll discuss Bank Nifty. In case if we open flat, that is below 35,000, if we open, and in case if we break this, you can immediately go for a put buy, because imagine that they already have put buys in their kitty. So your target, so we'll definitely book a safe target and not something that the big players would prefer. We'll book somewhere here, which is 34,800 is a very short target. They would not plan for 34,800. It is better to exit. So see, the actual support comes at 34,600. Okay, so we can expect a fall until 34,600, which is a 300-point fall. But it is recommended that you can exit around 34,650 to 700 area, because the max pain is 35,000. Okay, for Bank Nifty. So whenever the max pain is 35,000, then the range becomes 34,700 to 35,300. So Bank Nifty should travel within this range. But the only problem is, since we came down heavily, then this area becomes a strong resistance around 35,150. So I'm not expecting Bank Nifty to go beyond this, and we'll be staying below this area. So we can exit our position right at 34,650, 700 area if you're taking a put buy immediately. Then the next discussion is, what if it opens flat and it's going up? We will wait. Okay, we are not going to do anything, because see, imagine if we are opening flat at below 35,000, the call writers would get aggressive and the put writers would start exiting the position. That itself will bring the market down. So we'll wait for it to reverse. Like if it is going up and testing 35,000 once, and if it's coming down, we'll definitely buy a put position here. And whenever I say you will be buying a put position, so during an expiry you will always buy the next week option. Okay, just to be on the safer side. And in case if you open gap up, say if you're opening gap up around 35,150, then the market can hover here for some time, and then in the afternoon it may take a trend on one of the direction, mostly downside, because we do not see an upside, because if pros have a heavy call sell, so upside is definitely not at all possible. So if we open a gap up, we'll trade in the range for the first half and then we can come down heavily. So this should be a plan for Bank Nifty. Any gap down opening, so if it is a small gap down, like say it is opening around 850 or something, we'll wait for a small pullback and then we'll take an entry. The target remains the same. Now let's quickly check out Nifty. So Nifty, yes, 17,250 is definitely a great resistance which it cannot clear so far. So this is that. If you can see the line, okay, so this is that particular resistance. So today we just made an attempt for 280 and we had a resistance there and it came down quickly. So Nifty also, it has closed in the danger area. So tomorrow if we open flat and as soon as we break this low, you can immediately take a position. Your target should be around 17,110. Okay, because we already discussed that 17,155 is an important place, that is a neckline, and if it breaks these low, trust me, it will not even halt at this level, it will immediately come to 110 and then maybe it can retrace a bit. If Nifty opens gap up, say above this area, so this is 17,215. Okay, if it opens gap up above this area, then the 17,200 put writers will have to watch them. If they are showing confidence, then we can hover at this place, and again in the second half we can see some pressure, so we'll have to wait for the breakout of Nifty, whichever side it is giving in the second half. This is only the case when it is opening above 17,215 and it is not coming down immediately. And if we open gap down, same, if it's a small gap down, then we'll wait for a retracement and then we'll take the downside trade. So this will be our target. Okay, so this is the plan for Nifty and Bank Nifty for tomorrow. So tomorrow's expiry is going to be volatile, just keep that in mind. And whenever you're buying options, please go for the next week options, because buying this week's option can be dangerous at times. Thank you for watching. Let's meet in another video. Till then, take care. Bye bye.